So today I have a recap video for you. We had the MCI bus that came in that was overheating no matter what he did, just flat ground, hills. We've had a run of buses coming in with overheating problems. As we're getting into summertime, temperatures are warming up. If there's any problems with the cooling system, it's definitely showing up. But this particular MCI 7, it was overheating no matter what he did. And so we got him in, we looked at it. His temperature gauge on the dashboard was off, so we're gonna adjust that on there, put a new gauge in there. We were getting about 20 degrees difference between what the dashboard gauge was reading and what it actually had back on the real temperature on the engine. And then we stuck a camera down one of the radiators on it, and the radiator was just full of crap. It was so crusted over inside, growth and stuff like that, and just wasn't flowing good water. So we went ahead and pulled the other one too, and same thing, both radiators were plugged up. One radiator actually weighed 20 pounds more than the other. It's two identical radiators in there, and one of them was over 20 pounds heavier than the other. It had so much buildup and deposits inside of it that was 20 pounds of stuff. That particular MCI had the radiators that were soldered together, not a removable end cap that are bolted on. So we had to send it to a radiator shop. They unsoldered it, took it out, rotted it out. We got it back, cleaned, and it was 20 pounds less then. Actually 21 pounds less, I think it was. So it was good to go. We put it in the bus. The second one, when they took it apart, the guy at the radiator shop said, hey, this is different. Now, this is supposed to be two identical radiators, and one of them barely flowed any water, and the other one was really restricted. The restricted one was 20 pounds heavier. So what was the, quote, good one, we sent, to have, let's go ahead and rot it out. Since we've got it taken out, let's have it rotted out too. So they go to do that, and he takes it apart, and he's like, wow, this is totally different inside than the other radiator was. It's a lot less tubes, and the tubes are smaller. And we compared to what it was supposed to be from the factory, and at some point, the second good radiator had been replaced with another one. So they had a new core put in it, but the core they put in had less tubes and smaller diameter tubes. And they did the math calculations on it, and they said that particular radiator was 40% less efficient than what the stock one was supposed to be. So that was like, man, he just double whammy what was going on there. So the radiator that was the good one was 40% less efficient than it was supposed to be from when they record it. So we went ahead, there was no reason to rod that out. Let's just order a new core to the right specifications, the right number of tubes, the right diameter of the tubes, the right spacing of the tubes. All that stuff makes a difference in the cooling. So the bus, the one was extremely plugged up, and then the other one being reduced that much, that was a no-win situation. And then the way the MCI buses work, unlike the GMs here where there's a big fan on one side and it sucks the air through like most cars and trucks are, that has two radiators up real high in the back, and there's squirrel cage fans like your home furnace has that are sucking air through those radiators, and any little seals that are leaking in the door or the back part of the bus, the back door doesn't seal right, then air can come in through those areas and not have to get forced through the radiator for cooling. So we really worked on tightening up the airflow, sealing everything up good to make sure that all the sucking power of those fans was making the air come through the radiator. So as you're gonna see in this video, we're gonna do a test where he puts some paper on the side of the radiator where the fans are at, and you can see all the air is just going right through it's so tight now. We've got it better than it came from the factory. So big improvements on the cooling system. We got the radiator back. We're gonna take it for a test drive. We got a few other issues going on with that bus too, with some air leaks. We're gonna get solved. The front suspension keeps coming down right away. We put new airbags on it like, 4 or 5 years ago, so I doubt the airbags are leaking. And that has an air beam in it, but we put block off plates on it, so it should be pretty easy for us to figure out what's going on with the front suspension. So let's get into it here, and we're gonna get it started up, and you're gonna see some cool tests, and we'll take it for a test drive. So even though the core was in good shape, there was some steel that was mounted to the outside of the radiator for mounting that was all rusted out and rotted out. So we're fabbing up new mounting brackets for the radiator so it'll be able to bolt into place and stay nice and tight and secure. So we're getting these fabbed up and putting them on there. You can watch us through that process.
Bend it just a hair to get up to this.
Yeah. Good?
Yep.
I'm just gonna do a couple.
Yep.
So you're not having to hold it. Fan.
Yeah.
We put a little cork radiator tape around those metal brackets too so they can't rub through or anything. So just a little extra support. Yeah, we made sure we measured everything twice before we did it, but everything bolted in perfectly. The radiator is exactly where it needs to be. We'll just need to seal up around the outside edges a little bit, put some rubber and stuff around it. I think he's gonna put a little like spray foam insulation in a couple of areas too, just to really force the air to go, so it can't go around the radiator at all. All right, we got the radiators in. We're gonna fire it up. We're gonna check everything for leaks, make sure there's no leaks in the cooling system. So this used to have an air tensioner that tightened this belt. This puts the tension on the belt for the radiator fans, but it was leaking air, and those are very expensive. So it's super cheap. Just replace it with a simple turnbuckle, and you use that as your belt tensioner.
Temperature is climbing on the engine as it's supposed to, and we can see it real time digitally. Run tape down there on both sides, and then I'll put the screens on. The new screens.
That will force the air through the radiator.
And this radiator fit a hair looser, so I put a strip of this
That'll seal it.
to seal it down tight. And again, the fire foam in the gaps.
Yep. That's going to do really well. Alright, show me if your radiator works good now. The fan's sucking good?
It's sucking real good.
How do you got any of that left?
I'm sure it'll be going to your fund soon. Okay, Dave, we call those Crosby bucks. Yeah, that's right. It is Crosby bucks. That and the temp gauge. Take a picture and then go front.
So the bus was airing down. That mud flap was starting to touch the ground after just a few minutes. And we've been over a half hour now since we disconnected the leveling valve. We sprayed all the airbags down and we couldn't find any bubbles anywhere. So the leveling valve up here, it was leaking internally back through itself. So we disconnected the leveling valve, we put an air chuck on there, filled the airbags up, closed the valve on it, and it's held there. So it's definitely the leveling valve that's leaking. So we did replace that front leveling valve, and putting that on there, it fixed the front suspension leak. It was no longer coming down. Just by putting that little block off on there, that valve, that was able to have us test that leveling valve internally. So we're not just throwing money at parts that we weren't sure if they were leaking. It just took 5 minutes to do that test, and then we let it sit for overnight, and it did fine. So new leveling valve, the suspension's all fixed.
74 by the gauge in here. 75.
high did the temperature get there?
171.
Yeah, that's good.
It
Thermostat's
actually went down.
yeah.
At 172 now. So. Where should I put it?
Let's put you back
Towards the pit?
No, yeah, go towards the pit. I want to try to get George. Yeah, it's like 179 on the gauge back there.
What do you got, bud? 181 right now.
Yeah, it's like 179 back there, so very close.
Very close. It's looking real pretty.
Yeah. Good. So we've had 3 buses here in the last month that had plugged up radiators in them. This is obviously a common problem. I mean, I had to clean my radiator out in my bus before for being like this. Definitely, you need to change your coolant at a more intervals than what you're doing it. A lot of these buses, that's not uncommon for them to have the same coolant for 10, 15 years. That's not good. Even though you're running a test strip on them, the one had a terrible radiator plugged up. This one here actually, but the coolant strip test said it was fine. Do not use tap water in your radiator, the hard water, and so we used distilled water in our radiators mixed with it, or if you buy the pre-mixed coolant. Don't mix the kinds of coolants that can help clog things up too. But yeah, if you're having any kind of cooling issue with your bus, especially if you never used to overheat if you're ever on flat ground and it's overheating, there is definitely something wrong. Climbing a mountain grade or something like that, yeah, you can expect it to get warm, and you have to drive the bus for those conditions. You can't just stay in the throttle and let it get hot like that. But all these tubes being plugged up, it's restricting the flow. Plus, it's like insulating the inside of the radiator. You don't want insulation there because then it's not wicking away the heat as efficiently. The flow through the tubes is greatly restricted. So there's lots of things happening here. And a radiator flush does not work. We soaked that super strong 30% vinegar overnight. That acid did nothing. It didn't touch it. This one you're looking at now, a shop ran radiator flush through it, and they thought it was going to be fine because this engine actually overheated. That didn't work. Really, you got to take them apart, rot them out. I've not found any magic chemical that just cleans this all away. Just take them apart, rot them out, clean it. These ones like this that are serviceable, where they have the end caps you can remove, you can do it yourself. It's pretty easy. The one where you had to send it out, this particular video you're watching here, to have those radiators, it was $500 to rot out the one. That was super cheap. The other radiator to have a new core was $2,500 to have the core made. And then labor costs for everything for us, fabricating and everything, plus fixing the air leaks and stuff too. I think it was like another $3,500. So, he was over like $6,000, I think, and everything. So it's not cheap, but if you can do it yourself, or these ones that are serviceable, I definitely recommend it, and check it out if you're having any overheating issues. Well, I'm happy to report he's doing great. They got a lot of miles on the bus. It's staying cooler than it ever has for him. Also, when he wakes up in the morning after the next day, he's still got like 60, 70 pounds of air pressure in the bus. That never used to happen. So we fixed all those air leaks and that suspension leak that was leaking internally. There's a check valve inside that leveling valve. Once it's up to height, it's supposed to close off. Apparently it wasn't closing. So as the other air leaks in the bus would bleed off, then the airbags could bleed backwards through that valve, and it was coming down. So big improvements for him. He's super happy. He was headed to Texas. He got much stuff to do out there, and then I'm not sure where they're going from there. But the bus is running nice and cool, and he got some serious heat coming this week, so that's good.